When a student first shows up here, they're going to be receiving a Bible with their name on it. And after they receive that Bible, they have different opportunities to hear God's Word. So they're hearing it whether they are in chapel, whether they're in the cottages, whether they are at school even. They're just having all different opportunities to hear about God and who He is. They get to see and hear different students that are getting up to testify, give their own testimony. And in doing so, they begin asking questions. They begin seeing if there were any sort of misconceptions they had about God. They begin seeing the real God, hearing the real God. And now they're coming to know Jesus and give their life to Christ. Tuesdays are the boys' chapel. Thursday is the girls' chapel. And then Sunday is the both combined chapel. And so how it typically looks is on Tuesdays and Thursdays, they'll come in, we'll do notes of the week and things, and we typically play a game, and the kids absolutely love the game. We set it up like a youth group almost, and we'll do a message and we'll end with a song. And then on Sunday, we keep it a little more traditional. We try to show them what church looks like. We do worship at the very beginning, we'll do a message, and we'll try to, as much as we can, mimic what a church looks like. It's a common thing to see these students asking questions in the cottages. One of the most common ones is, asking, how could God love somebody like me with what I've done? And really that's been our focus in chapel, is destroying those misconceptions and understanding that, the reason that God came was for people just like us. I very much think that the way God has been moving is just being able to get the message on their level. And not only that, but to root them into their faith. And that's kind of why we're taking that next step in discipleship in small groups. We're wanting to help them understand what a Christian walk looks like and what it means to be God's child. After chapel, we do something called a dinner talk handout. It's essentially capturing what they talked about that morning. And what they do at dinner is the family teachers, either during or after, they can sit down and they can ask the questions that the paper kind of talks about. Sunday nights, we're going to have different ones who've signed up who are wanting to get involved. It's all voluntary. They're going to come to the chapel and they're going to watch a short video. And at that point, they're going to break out into small groups led by some of our staff here on campus. And they're going to just dive into the Word, get a little bit further into their walk with Christ. We had a student who gave their life to Christ in the cottage one day. It was actually a group of different students. And this student specifically shared something I didn't know previously. But when he came here, he was actually a Satan worshiper. When he gave his testimony, he said that when he gave his life to Christ, it was just everything was lifted off of him. That he felt like a completely different person and that everything has changed in his life. One of the goals that we've been trying to set up is not only to help them develop their faith here, but especially to develop it outside of here. Because again, we only have them for a very short amount of time, but when they leave here, going back to sometimes the same setting that brought them here, it can be unfortunate. And so we highly encourage them to get connected to the churches. And we also provide different contact information for people here as well so that they can stay connected and continue to get that encouragement that they need. The way that I see God work here at Josiah White's, He's shown time and time again when we think He's going one way that He just opens another door and He goes that way as well. The Spirit is moving like fire in these cottages.